Imagine a world where everybody is connected. Imagine a world where somebody in Japan can do a transaction with somebody in the United States without high banking fees. Imagine a world no longer ruled by greedy corporate banks. There's going to become a time when we think of central banks in the same way we think about calling an operator to talk to a friend on the phone. This weird, annoying entity that came between us and the things we actually wanted. You aren't going to drown in fees anymore. You aren't going to borrow money from a bank. You aren't going to fight a half a dozen middlemen. It'll just be you and your money anywhere on earth. And once this happens, cryptocurrency could very well make the US dollar obsolete. Once people understand how easy this is and get used to it, the demand for legacy money controlled by a government and bank is going to plummet like a rock. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. This is Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. So I see we've got Shelly Hendricks Pearson from Burleson, Neil Brooks from Richmond, Virginia, Shauna Ross, Charlotte, North Carolina, Faye Harris, Temecula, Mike, Christine from Northern Illinois, Lori Lamar from Southern Illinois, Gerald Gardner, Stacy Alugas from New Orleans, Dagmar from Lake Arrowhead, Jeffrey from Washington, Melissa from the UK, Odin X from Minnesota, Noel Faulkner from the UK, Hanif Brown from Canada, Sue Williams from Utah, George Alexander from Atlanta, and Javon Ridley from Connecticut. Good morning, everybody. Now, this is not only is it a great Monday, beginning of a new week, but today is launch day. Well, not launch day, but it is the start of the 5-day challenge for tonight. 5-day challenge starts tonight. We're going to be talking about Satoshi Nakamoto. You're going to hear some testimonials from some people that's having some success in the crypto space. And it is free to everybody. You have to register, though. You have to register, ILCAchallenge.com. It is only going to be streamed in the Facebook group. If you want to be able to be a part of the Zoom side of things, then you have to be a VIP member. Because here's what's going to happen for the VIPs. When the hour is up and we won't be streaming in the Facebook group anymore, I will still be going behind the scenes with our VIP members. The VIP members are going to be getting personal Q&A time. You're going to be able to have some one-on-one with, even ask some of the panelists any questions if they want to. So you definitely want to be a VIP, and you're a VIP for life, because we are already planning the next 5-day challenge, which is in February, the last week of February. So it's going to be an exciting time. Even though I do a crypto talk and I'm broadcasting daily, I get a little nervous because this is something brand new that we've never done before. And that's going to be very big for us this year. I see Marnita from Colorado, Janelle, Colorado, Neil Brooks, Richmond, Virginia. So let's see what's going on in the crypto world, and I want to share screen. And I hope you guys liked Crypto Talk last night, because we had two special guests on, and I can't lie, I was kind of geeked about it, because it was a professional wrestler is part of the project for Euphoria, and I actually know the people he's connected to, the Hart family. And so I'm a huge wrestling fan. Monday nights, like tonight, I will be decompressing, watching Monday Night Raw. Hopefully I can. I might be a little too excited, but Yeah, I never miss Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, Tuesday Night TNA, Wednesday AEW. All right, so let's go see what's going on in the charts. Let's get these refreshed. So whenever the market, because the market is at 1.7 trillion, down 0.4% in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin dominance 39.1%, Ethereum 17%. Whenever the market drops dramatically like this, I love watching the reaction, watching the fallout, especially. Remember how I always said, watch who you're listening to. The most dangerous people in crypto. And I already did a whole series about this. And whenever the market drops dramatically like this, it exposes them. You can see very quickly who they are because they can't help themselves. They have to speak on it. When you're uneducated and ignorant about something, it's best to keep quiet. Right? It's best to keep quiet. But the ego prevents them from staying quiet. So the most dangerous person in crypto, I said, is somebody that's made a lot of money, somebody that has a lot of influence, a big ego, and no education. So they have no education. They have a lot of money and influence. Something big and dramatic happens. They feel they have to speak on it, even though they don't know what they're talking about. It's the ego that forces them to open their mouth and expose their ignorance. Why that's dangerous is they're exposing their ignorance to their followers who's also going to follow that ignorance. But to the educated people, they're exposing themselves as, okay, I know not to follow you when it comes to any news about this space. And I mean this space. That takes nothing away from how successful they were in the past or what their success in the future could possibly be. But their ignorance and uneducation and ego will prevent them from learning. There's always some people who think they know it all. And even if proven that they can learn something new on this, their ego will prevent them from doing that. Will that mean that they will never learn? No, they will eventually. They'll figure it out on their own. They'll teach themselves. But they won't be able to humble themselves to actually learn from somebody else. And I understand that. I know a lot of people like that. But those people were out in force running their mouths about, oh, Bitcoin, I told you guys it's a scam, or it's not going to work. Oh, cash is king. Oh, it's the bubble burst. And I said this the other night. Here's one fundamental fact, because I don't deal in emotions. I don't deal with opinions, what somebody has to say, what an expert has to say. I deal with facts. And the fact of the matter is that Bitcoin is at $35,427. For the first 11 years of Bitcoin, it has never been this high. Did Bitcoin end 11 years before? No, it only kept getting bigger. So this is a number that excites me, not scares me, because it's still higher than 2017 when Bitcoin hit $20,000 and everybody thought the gold rush was on. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's people out there. Bitcoin's still a scam, or Bitcoin, or I'm going to use one argument that actually makes sense, but is flawed. And here's the argument. People who bought in at $60,000 and saw their portfolio drop to $35,000 lost money. And people didn't get in to lose money because they got bills to pay. They don't have time to wait for it to turn around and come right back up. Therefore, cash is and will always be king. Have you guys heard anybody ever say it like that before? On the face, it sounds, that's true. But here's the problem with that argument. The problem is, number one, this is an asset, not a currency. So if you're not financially literate, you don't know the difference between an asset and a currency. Do people buy a house so that they can make money to pay their bills? No. Why? Because the house is an asset that will appreciate or depreciate in value over time. You buy the house because over time the value of it is going to increase and you keep wealth in your family. At best, you might be able to buy two houses, live in one, and rent out the other. So that property is now bringing in money for you on a passive basis. But people don't buy a house so that they can pay their electric bill next week or next month. It's an asset. And if you buy a house at $500,000, this asset, and then the house drops in value to $300,000 because the market went down, did you lose money? No. You lose if you sold the house at $300,000. Did you buy the house at $500,000 to sell it next month? Well, unless you're in that flip trade, but most people aren't doing that. Most people, their whole life is buying a house and owning a home. In fact, most people right now don't even own the home they live in. They're still paying mortgage on it. The bank owns it. Really? You stop paying that mortgage, they take it away. But what if the house goes up in value to $800,000 and you spent $500,000 on it? Did you make money? Only if you sell it. Just the value went up. That's it. Bitcoin is an asset. And again, as I speak in facts, when you do your taxes in the IRS, do they consider your Bitcoin and crypto as income, or do they consider capital gains? If they consider it capital gains, then you cannot compare crypto, Bitcoin to cash. It's not even in the same ballpark. That argument is not even relevant. Doesn't make sense unless you're uneducated. Then it makes sense because all you know is money. But you don't know that there's different forms of money. Money is not money, it's resources. So crypto is an asset that dropped in value this past weekend. That's all. If you have the strategy that I'm only getting into crypto because I got bills to pay next month, next week, get out. You don't belong here. That's not what this is about. Do people do that in the stock market? Do people do that with gold and silver? No, they don't. You're looking to make an income off of Bitcoin, you're in the wrong place, the wrong thing. Can you make an income off of Bitcoin? Yes, if you're educated. Then you know what to get involved with, how to flip your money, how to stake, how to invest in certain things is going to get you a return from NFTs, metaverse, ICOs. Yes, you can make money off of Bitcoin, but the people that's running their mouth about this aren't educated on that fact. And they end up losing more money trying to do those things than they make money. And then they get jaded by that because they lost money somewhere. And then Bitcoin drops. That's a double whammy. Oh, I told you cash is king. This is a scam. But if you look at it from the way it's supposed to be looked at, the way millionaires, billionaires, and people who actually have wealth are looking at crypto, you're not fazed by the price drop. You're excited by the price drop. I make more money when the market goes down than when it goes up. Why? Because I'm not selling anything right now, even if it was up. I'm in accumulation mode. If the price is low, I get to buy it at a discount. You got to think like an institutional investor. Now, this doesn't mean you got to put all your eggs in crypto. You got to be diversified. Even the wealthy at most put between 1% to 5% into crypto. 1% to 5%. It's the broke people talking about, I'm going it all in. I'm risking it all. No, you don't risk it all. What are my 4 rules? Education is key. Never invest money you can't afford to lose and always get your return back as fast as possible. And then you can do whatever you want after that. So the last piece of suggestion on this before I move on, and I have to say this because there are a lot of people out there that panicked the moment the price went down. In fact, I'm going to tell you about an interview with a CNN host and the mayor of New York that just happened. It was funny as hell. And he hit her, and she didn't even realize it. But I'm going to tell you that in a second here. Do not start to begin your crypto portfolio if you don't already have a source of income to sustain you and pay your bills. If you do, then you need to be moderate and treat it like a savings account. Not that you're trying to get rich tomorrow, but you're accumulating coins for the next 2 to 3 years. That's how I approach crypto, because I'm in this for the long haul. I see where the tide is shifting, where this greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind is taking place. Is right here, not in cash. $20 today does not buy you in the grocery store what $20 10 years ago got you. So how in the right mind can you think cash is king when it's deflating every single day? Where even Robert Kiyosaki says, if you're holding money in a savings account, that's a foolish error. So this is not to put anybody down at all. This is just a highlight. If you're not educated in the space, you're going to say some foolish things. And you're not only going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt the people following you that also don't know any better. And you're stealing an opportunity from them. So people, Brandon, why should I trust you? I steal this from Marnita. You don't trust me. All I stated was the facts. You allow your education to do the rest. I just point you in the right direction. You can accept it or not. Now, let me tell you about this interview with the mayor of New York. He just last week got his first paycheck as mayor, and he converted it into Bitcoin. He got his first paycheck, and he converted it into Bitcoin. A couple of days later, the market dropped by 20%. The entire crypto market cap lost almost $1 trillion. And the CNN anchor, she says, well, Mr. Mayor, I mean, yeah, you tried to be, the new generation, this new digital economy, and you stuck to your word. You kept your word, and you converted your first paycheck into Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin dropped. Sir, how much money did you lose? That's one of those gotcha questions, right? So how much money did you lose? He's like, lose? I didn't lose anything. The value dropped. That's all. You only lose when you sell. I'm looking at where this is going to be in the future. It's an asset. It says you buy low and you sell high. The market will turn around like it's always done. And it completely went over her head. Or the look on her face, it went over her head. She didn't get it. And then he just kept moving on about how he wants to make New York like a Silicon Valley type for average people to have an opportunity. Do you know what El Salvador did? They bought $14 million of Bitcoin right now. They bought the dip. If I was in charge of the U.S. government or the Treasury, I would be investing a lot of the money in crypto. Or another way to put it, you know the United States burns a lot of dollars? They burn it because they want to take a lot of cash out of the circulation. I'm just saying what I would do. Instead of burning that cash, I'd use it to go buy crypto. If you're going to burn it anyway, I'd use that cash and buy crypto with it. And I'd have a stockpile of the U.S. Treasury on crypto. And that's not just Bitcoin. I would probably purchase more Ethereum than I would Bitcoin because the value you're going to get. I mean, this number right here, $2,400, one day is going to be $40,000. And you guys are going to say, man, I wish it was at $2,000 again. I'll buy some more. All right. I spent far more time than I wanted to on that. So I don't have time to look at my secondary portfolio, that other stuff, but we will check out the news and see if there's any new. You guys see the stock market's acting crazy today as well, the Dow and everything. But yeah, I also like when the market goes down because it shakes out all the uneducated people. Had no business being in this space anyway. Do they have the opportunity to learn? Absolutely, but most of them won't. Like I said, ego won't. Go listen to Bitcoin Brandon. Hell no. Their ego won't allow that to happen. Macro guru Raoul Pal says crypto going through massive stress test. Warns of more downside risk for Bitcoin. Hey, I can see this thing going to 28,000. Bitcoin flashing perfect setup for a bounce. Yeah. Okay, we're going to look at those two. Yeah, we'll look at those two. Macro guru Raoul Pal says crypto going through massive stress test. Warns of more downside risk for Bitcoin. And this is the person that if anyone to say, Brandon, who do you listen to in crypto? The person that I don't say I listen to because I don't always agree, but I probably follow and watch the most is this gentleman, Billionaire Pal. He says that the crypto asset space is currently experiencing a massive stress test, typical of a new and emerging markets. The former Goldman Sachs executive tells his Twitter followers that while the crypto markets currently look rough, the architecture of the underlying technology that drives cryptocurrencies is running smoothly, despite the downward pressure. And AKA, he's talking about the blockchain. So we are in the midst of a decent stress test similar to last year. Outside of some new chains clogging and the partial maker liquidation, any issues? Or all running relatively smooth in DeFi and elsewhere? That is the important thing to me here. Powell is referring to a recent liquidation of within MakerDAO. And this is something you guys got to start to really know. Decentralized autonomous organizations, which ultimately ended up being less severe than originally thought. Maker is about to Maker is about to market dump 600 million worth of Ethereum unless someone can phone up this 7 siblings guy and tell him to top up his vault in the next 30 minutes. I'm confident the Dutch auctions will hold up, but not sure how the market will react. Real Vision CEO compares Bitcoin's volatility to that of tech giant Amazon in its early days. He shows similarities in the chart patterns of Bitcoin today versus Amazon in 2010. Remember how hard it was to hold onto Amazon? This was post-recovery when rates threatened to rise back in 2010. Also, the Amazon chart in 2010. Okay. And here is Bitcoin's post-recovery when rates threatened to rise. A little similar. That moon shape. Amazon has rallied 3,330% since 2010. Okay, so again, I made a post on Facebook that said, if you can't handle my 20% drops, then you don't deserve my 600% gains. This looked like the death knell for Amazon. Oh, Amazon's crashing. Look, see this? Oh, it's game over for Amazon. And then it went up 3,000% more. In a recent episode of Real Vision Finance, the investor says that macroeconomic factors are dragging down the crypto markets and that more downside is possible for both equities and digital assets. However, Powell says that cryptocurrencies are likely near the bottom of their correction. My view is that markets continue to be volatile for a bit. There's some more downside to come. If we go back and look at the NASDAQ or Amazon and stuff over that period, we will see these kinds of 20% drawdowns, 15% drawdowns, and then the market explodes higher. I mean, this, ladies and gentlemen, always goes back to who are you going to listen to? I can listen to somebody on Facebook, or I can listen to a billionaire who understands money in the markets. Explodes higher again as the central banks start realizing it can't raise rates as fast, and then the market does, and then everything stabilizes yet again as things move forward. That's kind of my base hypothesis here. Could we have further downside? Could we be forming a head and shoulders top on the NASDAQ? Could that knock through to Bitcoin? Sure. I've said for a while now that Bitcoin's downside is probably $30,000. I think we're in the kind of buy zone. I'm certainly looking to adding Ethereum. See that? He owns more Ethereum than Bitcoin. Myself here into this area between 2,800 and 2,600. And it's below that right now. It's what, 2,400? Yeah, this is buy time. I'm not buying Bitcoin. I'm buying Ethereum. If I had to choose between the two. Okay. Let me make that point clear, because my secondary portfolio has nothing to do with Ethereum. It's the layer 2s that I'm building there. But this is key. Who are you listening to? Is there a quote? Yeah, I'm going to quote this. So I'm going to save this article. Let's go to this one. Bitcoin flashing perfect setup for a bounce, according to trading veteran Tony Vase. Seasoned crypto trader Tony Vase says that Bitcoin's technical indicators are flashing signs of a potential bounce. In a new strategy session, Vase tells his 119,000 YouTube subscribers that he believes a 20-month moving average can serve as support for the flagship crypto asset. The only good news we have in the monthly chart is the fact that we are right there sitting on a moving average. That moving average could save us. And remember what I said. We are currently in no man's land. And this is the only area that is perfect for a Bitcoin bounce. At time of writing, the 20-month moving average is hovering around $35,234. Looking at the daily chart, Vase says that the momentum reversal indicator, a metric that predicts the end of a trend based on an asset's price momentum, is poised to flip bullish. The daily chart, this is good news. The daily chart is coming up on an MRI buy, and Monday will be an MRI buy. I can't see us avoiding an MRI buy on Monday. So on Monday, I am expecting us to rebound. I don't know where that rebound is going to come from. We are going to hit an MRI buy. It could be higher, it could be lower. But I am looking for a rebound on Monday, at least back to the breakdown area. Maybe forever. Maybe this is the low. This is actually a great place to catch the low. So I read this a little too fast. Let me see this again. 20-month moving 35,000 daily chart, MRI. Okay. But I agree with what he's saying. It is going to bounce back. 35,000. All right. So that is it for Crypto Talk. Again, today is the 5-day challenge. Starts tonight. You will, if you are a VIP, you will be getting an email with the link for the Zoom for tonight. You'll be getting that. And if you're not a VIP, you need to be in the private Facebook group. Let me see if I can pull that up. Private Facebook group. When you ask to join, there's going to be a couple of questions to ask you to make sure you registered, because we match up your registration before we let you in the group. There's a lot of people who try to get in the group but haven't even registered. It takes you 5 seconds to register. ILCAchallenge.com. ILCAchallenge.com. And you'll be able to watch. It'll be streamed live from the group here. If you have any questions about this, talk to my assistant, Marnita Casa, and she will point you in the right direction for what you need to do. We had a lot of VIPs that joined yesterday. So things are popping, things are happening. Very exciting time. So with that, I will see you all. I probably will do another 5 or 10 minute live this afternoon. Just encouraging people to come on to the challenge tonight. And I'll be back tonight for the challenge. Thank you guys for listening. And I always end by showing off a video. Stop sharing. So thank you guys for listening. Hope you have a great day. Be productive this today as we start off for Monday. And let's play here. Thank you, Javon. Wait. Hold on. That's a good question. Someone asked, Sue asked, what is an MRI buy? Let me go back to that article. I hope I didn't close it out. It means a momentum reversal indicator. And what that means on the chart is, at what point do we start to see the market reverse? It doesn't have a graph so that you can see that. So at some point, it starts to level off, and they know that it's about to reverse and start to pop back up. That's all that means. Momentum reversal indicator. At what point do we start to see the bearish flip to bullish, and other way around, from bullish to bearish? All right. So here's my last video, and I will see you guys tonight. From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time, from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you had invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow?